I am back with another job search tip. And guess what? It's all about ChatGPT again. But this time I want to talk about interviews. Now, I was never ever nervous or afraid or concerned at all about interviews. I actually am kind of a goofball that loves them. I love the challenge of them. I love the surprise. I love the uncertainty. Tony Robbins has a survey that asks about our dominant needs. And one of my dominant needs is the need for uncertainty and the need for variety. I know that's not like everybody, but I really do believe that's what contributes to my just love and enthusiasm for interviews and the unexpected that can happen. But I know that isn't everybody. It certainly isn't my clients. Otherwise, why would they come to me for interview prep assistance? But one of the things that everybody gets concerned about and that we see a lot of chitter chatter on LinkedIn about is why don't they give us the questions in advance? And it would be nice, right? It would be nice to know what they are so that you could craft your answers in really specific ways and have your stories all prepped and ready to go. But that doesn't happen, right? And I've interviewed a lot over the years as a hiring manager. I also did some work in a large outplacement company where I worked with all kinds of clients from all different levels of experience and industries. And I've worked in a number of industries, and I'm really good at coming up with questions both from the resume as well as questions based on the job description. So that's one of the key benefits that I know I can offer when people are prepping for interviews. But how do you do that if you don't have a coach? How do you do that on your own? And that's exactly what I'm going to show you today. This is actually a tool I'm also using to supplement the questions that I devise myself. And I know it's something that you can do to help you prepare for your interviews. And that's why I love ChatGPT. Now, I want to set the record straight before I launch into the demo. This isn't about ChatGPT coming up with your answers for you. Only you have the answers. And if you try to use the answers that ChatGPT gives you, all you're going to do is sound fake and insincere. It's not going to sound authentic, and people are going to see right through that. However, if you use ChatGPT to come up with questions, then you are preparing for the questions that could be asked. Again, we don't know for sure, but there's a likelihood that they'll be asked. And if hiring managers are smart, they would also use this little technique as well, because this gives you some really good questions that you as a candidate can prepare for, that you can get your story straight, whether you're using a star format, a Carl format, or drama, the format that's inside my free interview course. But let's dive in, and I want to show you how you can create a list of questions that you can use to prepare for your interview. One of the new features I really love about ChatGPT now is this attachment feature. This is so great because it saves even more time. You don't have to prepare this really long script prompt in advance. You can actually use a small script, and you can add your attachments to help you create this list of questions. Okay, so let's put the prompt in that I've prepared in advance. I'll read it to you so you know what it says. I'm interviewing with the hiring manager for the Chief Marketing Officer role in the attached job description. What interview questions can I expect based on the job description? I've also attached my resume as a reference. Please give me 15 questions that the hiring manager is likely to ask based on these two documents. How cool is that? That is going to give you exactly what you need. And I love the prompt because it's using both this wonderful things that you've highlighted in your resume as well as questions coming directly from the job description. So let's attach those documents. There's the job description, and there is my resume. Now, let's see what questions ChatGPT comes up with. Now, the cool thing about this, and you can go with however many questions you want. But what I love about how this is organized is it's giving us not only the 15 questions I asked for, but it is labeling those questions in terms of this is the area that's probably going to be asked about. So we have brand development, strategic planning, team leadership, digital marketing, campaign execution. What is your approach to planning and executing marketing campaigns? How do you ensure consistency in brand voice and design? These questions are amazing. And if I was going back to a corporate career and back to an executive role in marketing, then this would help me prepare my answers, get my stories together, to give a sense of how all of the pieces are put together so that I can be presenting myself as an awesome candidate, well prepared to address the kinds of questions that are likely to come from the job description as well as my resume. This can be a really great tool for you too. And as I said, you do not want ChatGPT coming up with the answers for you, but you want to anticipate not just the common interview questions like tell me about yourself, which, by the way, if you jump into the free interview course that I have, I will tell you why that is probably the most important question and how it can set the tone for the whole rest of the interview. But you'll now have questions that'll help you create your stories. It's so important to have these right. The whole interview process is just you telling your stories about your career, about the results you've created, and giving life to that resume that opened the door for you. So don't be shy. Use ChatGPT to give yourself sample interview questions so that you can be as prepared as possible for that great interview. All right, my friends, I'll talk to you again soon. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and please visit elissashuck-careercoach.com for more information about how I can help you with your career and leadership goals. Talk to you soon.